I am not obligated to drive anyone that may potentially be sick. And if I was sick, I would not expose you to it either. Hey, what's up? It's Cecily, and I had somebody send this to me, which I thought, okay, this would be a great topic. And excuse the quality, I'm recording on my webcam right now because everything's charging. So we're about to get into it. Here we go. This woman writes, okay, drivers, I just had my first coronavirus scare. I just got a guy who was sick. He was going to the hospital to go pick up his mom, who is sick, and wife/girlfriend is under quarantine for the virus. Why is there not a button so riders can push to warn drivers so we have a choice to pick someone up like this or not? I am so upset. I told my rider that he should have told me he was sick before he got into the car. I had to disinfect my car 3 times with alcohol, and I don't know if alcohol will kill the coronavirus. I just lit into Uber's help response, and they were no help at all. They told me to go to the hospital and that the emergency response team will get a hold of me. Really? I told them that I have no insurance and Uber was going to pay for the visit to the hospital if I get any symptoms. I told them that it is not our job to pick up anyone who is associated with the virus and that this is a liability for them. I told them that there are no help and that the engineers need to have emergency buttons so the customers can warn us if they are sick right now due to the coronavirus. Off the top, I'm thinking this could be a potential class action suit. So if there's any attorneys out there looking for interesting ways to sue these rideshare companies, this should be it. There may be a chance that any costs associated with testing the coronavirus would be absorbed. You would not be charged. Number 2, if you do not have health insurance, that should be a concern not only today, but next week or the week after that, because if something happens to you, you will be responsible for the cost. Have you seen how much it costs to even be seen in an emergency room? It's insane how expensive it is. And you don't want to be left with that bill. If cost is an issue, Medi-Cal is something that I would advise you to get. With that being said, here's the rest of the video, but I just wanted to add that part. If you drive for both Uber and Lyft, then you've received a number of notices either via email or on your app, just explaining the basics that we've heard. Wash your hands. If you're sick, don't drive. They give you no advice on how to handle the general public or or how to handle coming in contact with people who are sick. I'm going to tell you right now, you need to use your own discretion. Do not follow what I say. Do not follow what others say. Come up with your own set of tactics. That's the only way this is going to work for you, because if you get sick, you're the only one that's going to have to deal with it. It's on you. So with that being said, if you were to ask me what I would do in this situation, to be quite honest, if somebody said that they're sick and they're going to the hospital, who based on this says that they were under quarantine, so that means that they're no longer under quarantine? Is the hospital holding folks under quarantine? It sounds a little shady to me, but let's just say that it's true. I would cancel the trip. I personally would cancel the trip and say I'm not comfortable. I can't do this. I have too many people relying on me. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to take you, and be done with it. And whatever happens, happens. And if we have to call the police, we call in the police. If I have to just take my keys, walk away, and be like, you gonna get out of my car and then call the police, then that's what we're doing. I am not obligated to drive anyone that may potentially be sick. And if I was sick, I would not expose you to it either. You need to be ready, and you need to know that there are people who are going to call Uber and Lyft if they think they are sick. They're going to call rideshare if they don't have a way to the hospital. They're not going to call an ambulance. This is going to be on you. There'll be a certain point where drivers will say, hey, are you infected with the virus? Do you think that you have symptoms? And then we'll deny trips. I think that's going to happen. And I'm thinking on the reverse, for those of you who don't minded who like, I'm good, I'm blessed either way, you should say, hey, if you have the virus, I won't cancel on you. You might get a tip. I think that relying on Uber to create a button that alerts people, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. You're gonna have to use your own discretion. You're gonna have to figure it out on your own. And if you think that it might be, for some people, this might be confrontational, it might be too much. You may not know how to handle someone that might be disappointed or upset that you won't take them. And however you handle that might affect if you get into a fight or not. I'm serious. Or something worse. So if you can't handle this kind of pressure, then get off the road. Log off. There's food deliveries out there. If you want to do food delivery, I have a bunch of links in my description. There's, with that, a lot of the food delivery companies are going to no contact. So you're picking stuff up from the restaurants, which is still contact in a sense, right? But use your gloves, use your masks if you need to. Make sure the food is tied all the way up, okay? Deliver it to the door or whatever. Take a picture. And, you can knock on the door or not, whatever. You come in contact whatever way you want to, but disposable glove, you knock, get back to your car, you can throw that thing away, okay? And food deliverers make just as good as money in larger cities as Uber drivers. So that could be a way for you to make money, and more people are apt to order in because they're trying to avoid the crowds with all of this. So there's like tons of ways that you can make money. I'm still getting job notices and talking to recruiters and stuff every day. So there's no shortage of people needing help. And so what's another one? Another one that would work out is TaskRabbit. If you have TaskRabbit in your area, there might be people that are looking for assistance off the beaten path, things that don't really fit under a certain area, general help. You never know, especially with this crisis. Someone might have a need for some help or assistance. It's worth signing up and seeing if you can find some work that way. If you have any other ideas on how people can find work during this time, please leave that in the comments, and keep the questions coming. This is pretty fun. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I talk about rideshare, gig economy, and starting your own business. Peace out. Bye.